Today, we'll be taking a look at how a protein is made inside a cell. Now, this process of making a protein is called protein synthesis, and I like to imagine this process as if it was like a machine or a robot that was programmed to manufacture something. Now, when we think about a robot, what does it need? Well, the most important thing it needs to manufacture something are the instructions, and in the cell, that is provided by what is called the DNA. So we can think of DNA as sort of like an instruction manual for the cell. However, the robot cannot just read the instruction manual by itself, so we need, let's say, a person to read and interpret the instructions for the robot. And once that person has read the instructions, they can then relay the information to the robot. Here we should notice, however, that the instructions in the instruction manual and the instructions given to the robot are not exactly the same, because the person may change the wording up a little bit, or may leave out a few things when telling the robot the instructions. Likewise, in the cell, the DNA is read and interpreted, but a modified version of the DNA called the RNA is produced, and it is this modified version of the instructions that the robot will actually be reading. The robot will then analyze the RNA and produce whatever the RNA has told it to produce. The robot that is reading the RNA is equivalent to what is called the ribosome in the cell, and the product that the ribosome produces after reading the RNA is the protein. And so to recap, the DNA in the cell is read and interpreted to become the RNA, which is then read by the ribosome, or in our analogy, the robot, and protein is finally produced. And that is the general process of how a protein is created within a cell.